Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever 2-tower chimps with Permanent Brew and Captain Churchill. It might sound confusing at first, so you have Churchill, a pretty great tower for 2-tower chimps challenge. He's so good that it was even possible to beat this challenge with just based Dart Monkey and Churchill on Resort, because he could just solo the late game all by himself. I was the first person to do that as well, by the way. And then as a second tower you have top buff Alchemist to buff Churchill even harder. This sounds like it should absolutely crush everything. But there is a catch. First of all, the lack of camo detection. Alchemist does not see camo no matter which buff you take, and Churchill only starts seeing camo on level 6, and there is no way you can have this level for round 24 camo Green Bloom. This leaves you with three options. You can go for Ancient Portal as your map choice and place Churchill on the camo MIB tile and get camo detection right away. The issue is that there is no way you can survive early rounds with just Alchemist to even afford Churchill. Similar case for Tinkerton, you could use the rocket to beat round 24 camo Bloom, but I'm pretty sure you can't quite gather enough cash to afford Churchill before rounds become unbeatable. So with these two options eliminated, the last possibility is Scrapyard with its Crusher. Luckily, Alchemist alone can start to Churchill on this map, and there are even few different spots that you can use, but here is also the second catch. This combo was never done before, because Permanent Brew is actually too expensive. By that I mean that if you want to get it, you won't be able to get level 20 Churchill at the same time for round 100. And sadly, without the extra Moab barrage damage that you get on max level, you are not able to fully beat the BAD, it would pop too late and you would always leak something. Luckily, in update 47 Ninja Kiwi buffed the Moab barrage damage, and currently level 17 Churchill does as much damage with his ability as the old level 20 Churchill did. This makes round 100 much more manageable, and as I have already tested everything else before, this was the first thing I went for when the update dropped. Well, I mentioned that there are a couple Alchemist spots that are able to start, but I had to pick this one specific spot because I still had to place Churchill in a most optimal place where he gets a great coverage of most of the map, and of course he had to be in range of the Alchemist to get buffed. The early game save up was a bit tricky to figure out, but the Crusher on this map does wonders, so it wasn't too bad. Once I had Churchill placed on the map, things got pretty trivial for a long while. I only had to spend money on leveling a little bit to have the level 6 for round 33 camo Blooms, and then I could just fully focus on buying upgrades for my Alchemist to get to the Permanent Brew. And yeah, in case you are wondering, Churchill together with Stronger Stimulants or Berserker Brew were already done as a 2-tower chimps combo, also on Scrapyard, but in both cases there would not be enough cash left to buy Permanent Brew on round 100, because you would have to pay for level 20 Churchill instead. And for my run, I got the Permanent Brew already on round 66, pretty early on. Now the rest of the cash could be pumped straight into leveling Churchill as much as I could. After round 80 this run got a bit more demanding, as the Moabs get more difficult to beat, but luckily I have already done a bunch of Churchill runs before, so I knew when to use the abilities to help myself out. Some occasional deaths would still happen, but usually that would just be due to single weak Bloom somehow sneaking by. Round 95 was the first actually more difficult round, because I had to find the correct timings and targeting options for this to work. First of all, I waited for 10 DDTs to appear on screen, and then used the Moab barrage to get rid of them instantly. Then, when the next DDT that was still alive was getting closer to the little loop in the middle of the map, I would use armor piercing shells while targeting last. The machine gun always targets first no matter what you do, so I didn't have to worry about ceramics cleanup. This position and last targeting would shoot in a nice line, where I would usually hit each DDT twice in that section of the map. When the ability ran out, I still had some DDTs alive on the screen, but by switching to first targeting, I was able to clean all that was left. I also used the Crusher somewhere in between to make sure I don't leak any random ceramics. The next two rounds were pretty easy and simple, but for round 98 I once again had to think a bit harder, to find out the targetings and timings to beat everything. It was not that bad, I just had to make sure to not try to pop everything at once, but instead somehow divide stuff into groups and then clean them with abilities separately. For round 99 I just had to use the Moab barrage once all DDTs were on the screen. The big amount of Moabs also helped me with reducing the ability cooldown for round 100, as they took a while to get cleared. For round 100 I could buy level 19 and then I was out of cash, as expected. Getting to this point was possible in the past few versions of the game already, but beating the final boss only became possible just now. Once I had the barrage ability available, I would just throw it at the BAD, and once it got into Churchill's range, I would also use armor piercing shells. The second barrage ability already popped the BAD, and armor piercing shell destroyed the DDTs that were inside. I was left with 2 ZOMGs and plenty of space to work with. Just as they started popping into BFBs and Moabs, I got the level 3 ability back, and it was enough to destroy everything that was left. In general, that was a pretty easy combo with just few semi-difficult rounds, but none of them took long time to figure out. Pretty cool that it finally became possible. I'm planning to also do similar videos with my other brand new 2TC combinations, so stay tuned and subscribe to not miss that. Have a good day, goodbye!